Mods are back, and today we've got 19 mods to take a look at for Farm Sim 22. In total, 6 new and 5 updates were released for all platforms, and PC and Mac players got 4 new and 4 updates, though 3 of those updates are supposed to be for all platforms. We'll talk about it. If you guys like staying updated with all the latest mods of Farm Sim, make sure you subscribe, and let's go. Starting off with new ones for all platforms, we have a new map for you guys. This is called New American. Maybe they meant New America. There are some translation issues all the way through. We'll do our best. This has got a bunch of medium-sized fields. It is more or less a medium-sized map. You can take a look here and see everything that you've got going on. A lot of square stuff. This is the modder's first map, so hence probably why we've got a bunch of square mods around here. Also, when we get around to everything, you'll see that pretty much everything is from Elm Creek, so all of your base game stuff is going to be found here. You guys may be tired of seeing stuff like this, I don't know, but I figured I'd let you know just in case. Their first map. We've got all the base game buildings here, so everything can be deleted. There are no required mods, so if you kind of dig it, but you don't really like the way the main farm setup, well, you can go through, delete everything, cut down the trees, and then do it yourself. You could do that. Totally cool. Taking a look at the PDA, here you go. We start off with a couple areas, so we jump way over here. We do own the biogas from start, which is very nice. Normally we don't do that. And then we get a couple fields here and there. Plenty of wheat to be done, which is nice. And then we've got a grass field down here on 26. As for everything else, can be purchased almost individually. You can also buy the outside of the map. I think they forgot to set that to 0. It's $4.7 million. There's really nothing out there, so you got no business being out there in the first place. The outside of the map is kind of brought up by hills and that type of thing, though it is one of the floating maps. Otherwise, if you like simple squared off fields and a simple American field map style kind of thing, this may be for you. Jumping in and taking a look at our our planting calendar. Yeah, that's a base game, as you would expect. Going all the way through, do we have any custom crops? That answer would be no. Don't know why I went over to the prices category. That takes forever. And then we take a look at what we own. We've got a Massey, a Valtra, as well as a John Deere, and a Deutz-Fahr top liner. We do have a telehandler, which is not something we normally start with, and you've even got a John Deere XUV. As far as everything else, as you can see, we've got a lot of base game stuff, but kind of some neat stuff that normally we don't get at the start. Next, we have the Lizard S10 1998 from Cola Modding. We got quite a few customization options on here. 180 horsepower manual transmission, 120 liters of fuel, and 74 mile per hour max speed. It's also pretty lightweight at 1.8 tons. Wheel setups, we've got quite a few different ones. We'll just kind of go through them here so you can see what we've got. So some base game stuff, a couple new stuff as well. Exhaust pipes, these are going to be around towards the side. I vaguely remember the exhaust pipe being on the back because I learned how to drive in one of these, but hey, this was based off of a South American version, I believe. Front protection, this is going to be around towards front, just one option there. Protection bar, this is going to be like your headache rag. Go through there. We do have beacons and a bunch of different lights to go along with it, which is pretty cool. Stirrups on the side, yes or no, or steps, however you want to call them. Front working lights, we've got those if you want to add them to it. And then front or window color. I like that the dark isn't completely blacked out. Makes me want to use it more. Grid lighting, this is basically lights in your grill. I don't know if those are strobes, but we're definitely going to take a look and see what we got. Chicken lights on the top, we've also got those. And then main colors, these are all base game colors. We'll just go with Case IH red. Front bumper, we can actually change that, but I like the black on there. Actually, you know what? We'll make that Case IH red as well. Yeah. There you go. And then rim colors, we have a chromed out silver and black, and then you can go with base game colors throughout. It's just me, or does that one look a little bit weird? Not quite sure. I mean, I know it's yellow. Leave me alone. All right, let's put it in the game and see what we've got. Turning on our help window. What do we do? Oh, nothing. All right, give me strobes. Ooh, no strobes. All right, well, we do have a bunch of lights, that's for sure. We can open up, we've got straps, all the good stuff. Ooh, it takes off too. From Connect Modding, we have their Stara Estrela 33. This holds 7,500 liters of stuff. We've got I think it's 3,000 liters of seed and 35 or 4,500 liters of solid fertilizer. I can't remember, I just did the video a few days ago. A couple things to note. 500 horsepower required, and it weighs 20.5 tons. So there's no getting around it. When the time comes, you are going to need to get something nice and big to pull this thing with, otherwise it ain't even gonna move. I showed it off with some Case Magnums over the weekend. However, those had power doubled. just so I could pull it. If we take a look, yep, we've got 3,000 liters for seed and 45 for solid fertilizer. And going through this will not only do the things for planters, but it'll also do some of the things that seeders do as well. Something else to note about this one is it flexes real good. Look at that flex. Oh, it's going a little bit. I know we're not planting anything right now, but it's got a real nice flex to it. It's also direct drill, so if you need that, you got it. Look at this, it's just going over everything like it's nothing. Late addition to the mod hub. Actually, I was getting ready to close out the mod hub, and then this popped up, the Massey Ferguson 108 from Nico Do 55. There's also a PC version of this, which is a Brimont. We'll talk about that when we get there. But configurations, we've got with an auger wagon on the back, that's pretty cool, or standard. If we go with the auger wagon, we've got a short pipe or a long pipe, but if we go with a standard, we could change up the capacities a little bit, which is very nice. And then we've got wheel setups as well as BKT, Lizard, Michelin, and there you go. Very cool, very cool. Next up, we got a manure spreader. The SAMSON US328 Dynamic holds 40,000 liters of manure, weighs 14 tons, 330 horsepower required, 24 meter spread at 9 miles an hour. Wheel brands, we have Trailer Boy, BKT, and then in chassis color, we have basically all of the above. For made of mining, we've got his log bunk. This is a smaller log bunk. We'll take a look at this here. Oh yeah, and it's got a winch as well, which is super duper cool. I love that, man. Make color options, a bunch, and then we've got designs. So the first design is going to be the frame. Actually, what's the main color do? Yeah, that makes sense. Secondary design is going to be the metal pieces, it looks like, and then of course, rim colors are rim colors at the end of the day. Let's pull up a smaller Massey, the 4710M. Get that hooked up. By the way, that winch is 16 tons, which is wild. We come over here. Can we grab a hold of it? Well, I'm trying, but every time I get close, it just fastens and unfastens a tension belt. Let me try one more thing. Nope, didn't work. All right, well, hey, Dad, I sent you a message. How do I do this? And your last new one for all platforms today is going to be blocks, the concrete blocks. These are not movable blocks, so you can't like build them up and then run into them or something. So we've got 4 different ones here. We've got one, and then we've got one that's like, what is that, 8 of them, 7 of them wide. We've got one that's 2 wide that way, and then we've got one of these, little cheese block. Now, I look at these and think, Legos! So we're going to see if we can build something real quick. What I'm going to try and do is build a house for K-Bot. So let's see. Let's take these blocks here. Actually, I can't see them very well. There we go. So we've got that, but I want to go in like a, ooh, yeah, snapping. There we go. That's gonna, oh man, that's gonna work real good. I may have been a little bit overzealous with the large blocks in the back, but this is really easy to do, guys. So if you want to come in here and like build something out of these, totally doable. So let's just go and finish this up. There we go. And then just for safekeeping, to make sure that he can't get out. Or, what? I don't huh? Somebody say something? I don't know. I almost thought I heard somebody say, "What are you doing?" But not quite. Not quite. There we go. A house. Yeah. I did it all by myself. It's modern architecture. You wouldn't understand. And don't worry about that one over there. I didn't think about actually having to come in here and delete these. You know what? I'm leaving it. Let's talk about updates, and the first one's going to be the Quivogne Pack version 1.1, edition of Discator. Next one's the Stonehog 430 Cultivator version 1.6, fixed color configuration prices, and more color configurations altogether. 3-sided Farmpack version 1001, fixed straw plane. Ebony Island 1.4, new fill types for farm production DLC added to sell points, and PDA has been updated. This is save game compatible, meaning no new save. And a massive, almost intrusive amount of changes to Castile and Leon, or Castle and Leon, New Horizon. This is version 103. And I want to show you something just for a minute. This is the change log. Yeah, we're not going over all that. A couple things you need to know about compatibility. Disable mods that add new crops, new items, or new productions. So basically, what, 99% of the people aren't going to use this now. They've corrected the sales of bells and agricultural supplies and fixed Weeder's bug. Additionally, they've eliminated vehicles parked at points of sale to have more room for maneuvering, reduced the price of land. Factories and production stores already have established prices. They no longer have a value of 1. Increased density maps, price adjustments, production readjustments in factories and stores, tweaks in livestock feeding, increased production of grapes, olives, fruit trees, and fruits. Alfalfa and grass are now destroyed when vehicles step on them. Vehicles roll on them. Modified weeders removed, increased the land of 82, and changed to them, and changes to resin pines and stone pines. As for the rest of it, it's basically a new map. So if you guys are playing on Castile and Leon, I know it's not right, but I prefer to say it that way, go check this out because there's a bunch of stuff in here. Jumping over to new ones for PC and Mac players, and what a very, very interesting map. I am digging this one, the Tyrolean Whitecreek Valley. This is super duper cool. You can see here all the way down. How awesome is that? So they say that this is based on a mountain at 1,607 meters above sea level. Well, if you guys know anything about that, well, that's about 5,272 feet. There's 5,280 feet in a mile, which must mean 8 feet that way is a mile. I don't know, man. All I do know is these cattle are on the... Bruh, if you was any bigger, you'd fall down. That is so cool how they've been able to do that. So everything is all the way up. We've got some mountain goats over here. Super duper cool. If you're looking for something a little bit different, this is definitely it. There are a couple required mods, but it's PC map, so we'll give it a pass this time. Taking a look all the way around, there's some very beautiful and idyllic lands all the way around. We even start... Actually, I don't know where we started. Wherever it was had a bench behind it, and it was like a tree, and then you stood up and you could see everything. It was really pretty. I loved it. If you're curious like I was, this does look kind of familiar, and that's because it is. This is based on the Alpine map base, but, well, I mean, of course it is. What else are you going to use? The PDA is seemingly tiny, all things considered, but I'm sure you could enjoy yourself and have some fun. Here's all of your grasslands and things like that. If we go up and take a look, we've also seen that there's not that many crops. Wheat, barley, oats, corn, potatoes, and grass. And then red beet, carrot, and parsnip. But those wouldn't be there if we didn't have the premium DLC installed. So you can see where all your grasslands are. Filled up with those quite a bit, and you could buy some of these areas if you want to. There are a couple little spots where we can't buy, but those are here and here. And I had to yawn. Not because the map is boring, just because I woke up super early this morning, 3:30, and it's like 11:30 right now. Taking a look at the growth calendar, again, there's really not much that you're going to be growing up here. And if we jump around to prices, you can see this is much smaller of a list than you would normally see. Doesn't look like any custom crops or custom crop products, so we can take a look at what we get. Small tractors, we've got a nice AB mower, a nice telehandler, a car, and a miscellaneous, the linear Unitrack. Now this is a required mod, so you will have to download that because they have decided they want to use it. There's also a bunch of other stuff through here too. Should be enough to do some grass work. And as always, here's some required mods for you, 5 of them. As we mentioned, there is a Brimont version of that Massey Ferguson trailer configuration with the auger wagon. We've got that with the short or long pipe, BKT, Lizard, as well as Michelin tires, which is very, very cool. And then the capacity options are going to be the same as well. Now, one thing that it didn't have was color options. We could actually change up the color to orange there, though it doesn't look great with the red. Why does everybody want to go with orange and red? GTA tried to do this and it looks awful, but that's personal opinion. Let me know what you think. And a couple other new ones for PC and Mac. We've got the Modular Pig Pen Expandable. That's the Expandable Pastures mod, or Expandable Pastures Ready mod. Basically, this is the Modular Pig Pen that is for all platforms. However, it's made a separate mod, so you can use it with Expandable Pastures. And lastly, your last new one for PC and Mac players. This is going to make a lot more sense here in just a second, but the mod system for BallySpring. This is the mod system info layers for the BallySpring mod map, PC only. If you play play with the mud system mod and want mud to spawn in all the gateways and dirt piles around the edge of some of the fields, then this mod will enable that functionality. Jumping over to updates for PC and Mac. First one is BallySpring, as you probably would have expected. Version 2003. New save not required. Added beetroot, carrot, and parsnip to planter fill fruit type stuff. Basically, you can plant these with any planters. That's nice. Added straw harvest fill types to the sell points. Adjusted the sell point price scale for Windrow category. Added possibility for a great demand to occur for all the main fill types at each sell point. Reposition manure spawn point for the self-made pigsty to the back of the shed for easier mucking out. Extended the animal loading trigger for the self-made pigsty. Made pig food the default fill plane for the food trough and all pig husbandries on the map. A lot of pig updates here. We also added manure system support and custom versions of the map. We also have added coupling to manure system connector on the slurry pit. Made this mod or mud mod info layers activatable. Is that a word? Through an external mod. We also have increased height type limit for non-fruit type versions of the map. Reduced occurrence of Garda car traffic vehicles. Fixed the error for CPU mesh and made carrot and parsnip harvestable up until February. And lastly, we have updates for the Meprozet PN224, 318, and the PN50. All of these are showing as version 1201 console release. However, at the time of recording this video, they are not released for consoles yet. And that is it. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I hope it helped you out. If you got any questions, let me know. Otherwise, have a great day. We'll see you later.